What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in with Cali. Please like, subscribe if you haven't already. So, the Clippers going to have to shake some things up this offseason, I believe. At least add maybe one or two more players. Not necessarily saying it's going to be a superstar, but of course, the main name out there is Giannis. And you can add Kevin Durant as well, even though I feel like KD is kind of more so on the decline. I still think he has some good years left in him, but the fact that he couldn't even get the Phoenix Suns to the play-in tournament or the playoffs really worries me, because he still had an all-star in Devin Booker, and he still had Bradley Beal, at some point, parts of the season. So you got to find a way to get a team like that at least to the play-in tournament, and he couldn't even do that. So more so Giannis, but there are other names floating out there for the Clippers. I talked about LaMelo Ball on my last video. You can check that out. I'm really not too thrilled about that one. I just don't think that's really the move the Clippers need to make if they're trying to win a championship. He's a nice, exciting young player, but he's not a quality point guard who has championship mentality and or experience. Now, the guy I'm talking about now, though, or the name I'm hearing surfacing now, which I heard surface a couple years ago, which the Clippers were interested in, is Jrue Holiday. Now, me personally, I would love for the Clippers to have Jrue Holiday, because he's a point guard who takes care of the ball. He doesn't turn the ball over much. And if he does make a mistake and turnover, he's going to re-up on the defensive end. He is a very good two-way player. Knock down big shots when you need him to. Defend at a high level, high IQ, good free throw shooter, and reliable. He's basically a role player version of Kawhi Leonard, just without the turnaround fadeaways and the Jordan-esque type stuff, of course, because Kawhi is Kawhi, but he's a two-way player as well. And he's very, he's usually efficient when he plays, when he scores. He's usually somebody that I think that teams can rely on, whoever picks him up. And I think the Clippers definitely need to pursue him very hard. And I'm talking to the point where even if it requires them to give up James Harden to get him, to make the Celtics a very good offer for him, I don't give a damn. Go do it. Go do it. Because Jrue Holiday is definitely worth that. He's shown it. He's proven it. He's a champion. He's a winner. And he's somebody that Kawhi Leonard would love to have on his team, riding with him when it comes to going into big games in the playoffs. Because hypothetically, if the Clippers had Jrue Holiday in that Game 7, he might not have scored 29 points or 30 points or something like that, but Jrue Holiday definitely would have showed up way more than what James Harden did. And he would have not been scared a moment to take, big shots when needed, especially if Kawhi Leonard is, sitting on the bench or, however that goes. He plays more fearless, and that's what you need. And his defense is so good, it would alter a lot of things a team like Denver does well. So, and having somebody like him, I just think it's way more valuable than having somebody like James Harden. Even though James Harden is, when he's right or when he wants to, he's a walking 25 points a game if he wants to be. And he can also get you 10 assists. But Jrue Holiday is more consistent. He'll get you 18 and 8 every single game if you need him to. And that may be 8 assists, but it also may be 8-9 rebounds also, with good defense and efficiency. And you can rely on him to be there to knock down big shots and play defense on the perimeter, unlike many can in the NBA. I personally think they should definitely go after Jrue Holiday. I just think that if you can get Jrue Holiday and keep James Harden, that's a plus as well, because now you can move James Harden to the 2 instead of letting James Harden run the point. And at times you can let him run the point and play off the ball more with Jrue Holiday running the point position, because that would be a whole lot better for James Harden. If he plays off the ball, I think James Harden is way more lethal than he is when he's on ball, because he's asked to do too much. And I feel like that ball uses of his throws off the momentum of the team, because he goes into his modes where he likes to, isolate, go one-on-one with players at the perimeter and try to draw 4-point plays. And that's not what you want your main point guard doing when you're trying to win championships. So having somebody like Jrue who can bring the ball up the court, get everybody in their sets, make good decisions, and be that third guy to knock down big shots when the game, when you need him to, and to play defense, and be there when you need him to in big games. I think there's really no better option out there than Jrue Holiday. And now that Boston is pretty vulnerable of breaking up the band, now that Jason Tatum is hurt and a lot of people's contracts are expiring and or need to be renewed, and differences and changes are going to be made with the Celtics probably, he's one of the names that a lot of teams are going to look at and be like, wow, we need to definitely try to pursue him. So I think the Clippers, if they're smart, they'll put all their stock into trying to get Jrue Holiday, because I think that's always a good move, getting somebody like that who can help you in areas where you're weak in. Because turnovers, he's definitely going to help you there. Reliable, he's definitely going to help you there. And he's somebody, like I said, with high basketball IQ, and he's a champion. So if you got a championship mentality point guard, well, that fits Ty Lue as well too. Because Ty Lue won a championship as a point guard with the Lakers, even though he was a backup, but still, he knows the game, and coaching somebody like Jrue Holiday will be even easier because they both played the same type of role. Jrue Holiday is just a better role player than Ty Lue was. But they're both role players and played their role very well. So the transition will be smooth with the coach and everything. And honestly, Ty Lue will probably have to do less coaching with somebody like Jrue Holiday because he knows the game so well and he knows where to be, and his instincts are good defensively. It's not much you probably got to tell him. And he just changes the way the Clippers go into games and how they're viewed with somebody like him on the floor.